Buddy? Hello. Welcome to Davis High School, everybody. My name is Mr. Moreno, and I am the proud orchestra director of all three orchestras here at Davis High. And we are very excited to have you here for our performance of Robin Hood. Are you excited to be here? All right. Well, in a moment, you are going to hear the wonderful story of Robin Hood. But the first thing we're going to do is play you a piece by one of the greatest American composers named Gershwin. And Gershwin wrote a piece called Rhapsody in Blue. And he wrote it originally for his jazz band. He was a jazz musician and composer and pianist, and it was such a popular piece of music that it was written again for full symphony and piano solo. So in a moment, we'll open our concert and you'll get to hear this wonderful piece by Gershwin. Now, before we get to some music, though, I'd like to share with you the point of this Kids Outreach Concert and why we do this every single year. First of all, you should know this concert has been in the planning stages for an entire year, since the last concert we did here last year, Alice in Wonderland. And how many of you guys were here for Alice in Wonderland last year? All right, thank you, teachers, getting them all back here again. We're so glad you returned here today. The point of this concert is we want to, number one, entertain you, excite you to be here on a field trip and taking some time off of school to enjoy listening to some music. But we also want to inspire and motivate you because, as you see, this wonderful orchestra behind me, the Davis High School Symphony Orchestra, these students are going to be graduating from Davis High School. And this is a group made of 10th and 11th and 12th graders. But eventually, we're going to need you, all the students in the audience, to learn an instrument. And one day, we hope that some of you in this audience will take over the seats in this orchestra and be a member of this fantastic music program here at the high school. So, our goal for you is to inspire your ear and your eye towards an instrument that maybe you enjoy. And maybe it's one instrument, maybe it's two, maybe it's three, I don't know. Okay? So be looking into the orchestra and figuring out which one you really like. Now, how many of you guys already play a musical instrument? Okay, good. Well, we got a house full of musicians, orchestra. What do you think of that? It's pretty great, right? Okay, now, before we get to listening to Rhapsody in Blue, I want to introduce to you the different sections of the orchestra, and they're going to play for you the different solos that Gershwin wrote for each of the different sections throughout the piece, okay? So if you'll draw your attention, the back row of the symphony orchestra can have all the brass, including the saxophones, standing up. There, all the brass. There they are. Beautiful, shiny brass instruments. Now, on your left, we have the French horns. French horns, hold those up nice and high. There they are. And then right next to them are the trumpets. Hello, trumpets. And next to them are the trombones. There they are. And then behind them, we have the bari saxophones. Whoa. And then right in the front, we have a tenor saxophone. Great. Let's take a listen to what the trumpet sounds like. All right, thank you, trumpet. And let's hear what the trombone sounds like. All right, the trombone, everybody. Thank you, brass. You can have a seat. Right in front of the brass section is the woodwind section. And on your left, right in the middle, is the clarinet section. Clarinets, please stand up. Next to the clarinets, we have the bassoons. Bassoons, please stand up. And next to the bassoons, we have the bass clarinet. In front of the clarinets, we have the flutes. Flutes, where are you at? There they are. And right in the middle, we have the little baby flute, the piccolo. There it is. And right next to the flutes, we have the oboes. Great. Now, Gershwin writes a beautiful clarinet solo to open Rhapsody in Blue. Let's take a listen to the opening cadenza of the clarinet. All right, thank you, Damien. Now, in the back right of the orchestra, you see many, many percussion instruments. Like I told you, Gershwin was a jazz composer, and he would have had a phenomenal jazz player playing the drums in his band. And so we have a really great drum set in the back of our symphony. Let's hear, Max, what the drums sound like. Thank you. Now, in every symphony orchestra, you have very large copper drums called the timpani. Let's hear what the timpani sound like. All right. The timpani, everybody. In the back, we have a very large sounding instrument. It's the gong. Let's hear the gong. And next to that, the biggest drum in the symphony orchestra, the bass drum. And let's hear the crash cymbals. Good. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear the tinkering of the triangle. That's so cute. All right. Thank you, percussion. Now, at the front of the orchestra, we have the string family. And you will see them wielding these odd-looking sticks. Can you guys wave your bows in the air? There they go. Now, they're going to rub the bows against the strings to make the sound, and that's how the strings produce all their tone. Does anybody know what the hair of the bow is made out of? Yell it out. Horse's hair. Good. You've been paying attention. Now, on the outside of the orchestra, we have the first violins. First violins, raise up your instruments. Good. On the inside of the first violins, of the second violins, where are you at, second violins? There they are. And in the middle of the orchestra, we have the viola section. There are the violas. And on the outside of the orchestra, we have the cello section. And behind the cellos, we have the big bad bass. All right, let's take a listen to what the strings sound like. All right, thank you, strings. Now you have heard every instrument in the symphony orchestra and seen what they look like. After the concert, I invite all the teachers to bring your students down to the front of the stage, because I'm going to have all the principal leaders from each section bring all their instruments down, do a little show and tell for the students, okay? So enjoy that, and if you ask them nicely, they will play for you, okay? Now, we will start our concert with Rhapsody in Blue, but before we get it going, you have to put your hands together and give me a loud round of applause for our concert master, Roger Shaw, everybody.